Hey witches, welcome back to the channel. Once again, this is Starboy, the Cosmic Witch, and we're going to be doing our reading for Lunasa, Lammas, Sabbat, and for the new moon, August 4th. Leave me a comment, let me know how you all have been. It's been a minute. So we're heading into the Lunasa, Lammas, Sabbat here in the Northern Hemisphere. Very exciting. One more step closer to Halloween. So we're entering the Sabbath of waning light. I've been feeling the ancestors' energy around, so definitely the veil is already starting to thin, I feel. We are also heading towards a Mercury Retrograde that starts on the dark moon on August 4th. This Mercury Retrograde will probably be the hardest hitting of the year, considering it's starting on the dark moon, so there's a boost of energy with that. And I believe it's in Leo. We do have some other retrogrades going on right now, so let me just take a look in the Witch's Almanac. Saturn retrograde, that started June 29th, and it's going to November 15th. Neptune retrograde, that started July 2nd, it's going to December 7th. Pluto retrograde, which started May 2nd, and it's ending October 11th. And then, of course, starting this dark moon, we have Mercury retrograde, August 4th through the 28th. So with that said, the new moon is in Cancer, and the Mercury retrograde that's starting on the new moon is in Leo. So those are the two energies I feel will be most affected with this retrograde, and those energies will be highlighted. Now, before we get too much further into the astrology, I will just talk about what I'm feeling psychically as usual. Like I said, I've been feeling the ancestors coming around a lot lately, seeing them in my dreams, feeling their presence around the house, things like that. I've been getting a lot of knocks on the walls and stuff again lately, so once again heading into the darker half of the year, the veil thinning and all of that here in the Northern Hemisphere, you know, the dead coming through with that energy, so very excited for that. And we also should mention that August 10th through 13th are dates sacred to Goddess Hecate. So there's also that energy I feel. Hecate's been coming through a lot more. I think that's what the knocking on the walls and the ceiling has been, is her coming through to me. I've been on a sort of a break with Goddess Hecate and not really connecting with her that much as I used to. So it's exciting to have her coming around again lately. I actually was getting a message earlier this morning. I woke up at midnight for some reason, and I've just been up ever since then, but I was laying in bed for hours with my cat just cuddling, and I got some messages from Goddess Hecate during that time period. And I was getting information about so many people are walking through this world blind to the spiritual realities, and how that is such a huge hindrance to humanity. Basically, how grateful and thankful that I am to be able to perceive the spiritual realities and the spiritual realms all around us, because, you know, once again, there's realities beyond our five senses, and most people are trapped in this material mindset, and they can't see beyond it. They can't understand that the spiritual realities are affecting the physical, and that they're affected by it, and how much sway all of the spiritual realities have over the physical world. And it's just really humbling to be able to experience the spiritual realm and see beyond our five senses and perceive those realities. And I just felt like that message was coming through as sort of a reminder to me to just be thankful and to remember how special and sacred that our gifts are and our privileges to perceive the spiritual realm. So yeah, that's just something to think about and consider as, you know, we have this Lammas Sabbat, the awakening darkness, heading into the dark half of the year and connecting with the spirit world once again as the well turns. So yeah, I just felt like one of those things that it was like touching base with that sacred center and that awareness. So maybe that's a message you all need to hear at this time as well. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and look at the astrology and talk about that. So like I said, the moon is in Cancer during this new moon. Cancer has an energy involving home and family life, the domestic affairs. There's an energy of fertility in children, childbearing type energy with that home life. The moon rules Cancer, so it's exalted in this sign, and it's really bringing a powerful emotional energy and spiritual energy, psychic energy. There's nurturing with this moon, once again, along the lines of our home life, our family, our spirituality and psychic gifts, ancestors. Weirdly enough, I would say with this dark moon in Cancer, it actually feels very earthy and grounded, centered. I feel like there's a lot of strength coming through that spiritual, emotional energy that can ground us and help us put our foot down with certain things and situations that we may be facing. I've been helping a lot of people deal with curse work, so I've been doing curse removals and hex breaking lately. And I feel like this moon really feels protective and strengthening with that type of energy. There's a support system that comes through our family and our spiritual allies. And just the emotional, spiritual energy of the moon in Cancer with this raw cosmic energy in general. So this could be a powerful time of cleansing and protection in that regard. Or maybe just coming back to center and finding that groundedness. So this moon would be a great time to focus on magic in any of those regards. If you've been dealing with someone or something that's just been a negative influence, this would be a great time to break through that energy. Find your strength to break through that energy with this moon. Now, I feel like talking about the Mercury Retrograde because it's starting on the new moon. So I'm just going to include a sort of an energy with that. Retrograde being in Leo, this is energy concerning our self-image, our notoriety. Remember, Leo is ruled by the sun. So it's all of that self-expression and creativity, presentation, and sort of ego in the positive sense. It may be a time to revisit and reevaluate certain things about ourselves in those regards. Maybe this could also be talking about, sort of switching up our fashion or whatever, heading towards the darker half of the year, changing your wardrobe out, redecorating your home, things like that could also be highlighted with this energy. Sort of just shifting gears in that sense, our expression, our outer expression, the way that we have things decorating in our home, all of that sort of helps shift the energies to a large degree. So that could be something that can help you during this time as well, or something that's just fun to do. With that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. So I'll be using the Star Spinner Tarot and the Wood and Bone and Path Unknown Rune Oracle for this reading. Myself with the most high God and Holy Spirit, I could please communicate the truth to me through these cards. Thank you. Please give us your divine guidance for this dark moon. What else do we need to know and do or be aware of for our highest good, greatest success and joy? Please give us your divine guidance now. Thank you and solidity. So the first card is the Page of Coins and earthiness, groundedness. There's a sense of studiousness, figuring out how to do something, how to get something done in a practical way, working through something. You can see she's like really looking at this pentacle. It's paying attention to the small details. With the Page of Coins, there is opportunity. You can see this doorway back here. So there's a doorway that you can walk through. Some sort of opportunity, maybe a business idea or something like that with this coin. Some kind of manifestation of some sort. that you can work towards and achieve. There's a possibility to increase income or abundance, some sort of material energy. Again, with the coins, this could also be concerning your own body and your health. So there could be opportunity for some sort of advancement with your health, with this energy, through your practical work in either sense. So if you're getting some kind of idea at this time or passion to do something, go for it. It's going to lead through this doorway to some sort of reward for your hard work. So you're at the onset of some kind of manifestation process, with being the Page of Coins. You're beginning to open that doorway. You're beginning to walk that path. Love to see this card because the next is the Ace of Chalices. And this is a card of pure love, pure bliss, the first emanation of that spiritual love energy, emotion energy. The Ace of Chalices brings new beginnings. And once again, love energy, emotional energy. There's an emotional rebirth with this card. A new start, a fresh start. This could be a new outlook, turning a new leaf with some sort of mental health issue or emotional turmoil or something like that, you know. This could have to do with relationships. It could have to do with your internal processes. I often feel that the Ace of Chalices is some sort of spiritual gift because we can see this bird coming in, right? And that's like a spiritual gift, a message of, with this card, pure love. So with the Page of Coins, we're starting a manifestation process. We're working towards something. And we have this, I feel this is coming in as that nurturing, supporting energy, giving us just that extra support and gift along with our work, our earthly work. This is the spirit side, blessing us in what we're doing. So also as a reminder with that, whatever we're working towards, do it with love. It just makes everything better. And interesting I say that because the follow-up card is the Knight of Swords. This often comes up as a warning of not to rush things, not to be impatient. Don't try to force a situation that's not ready to happen yet or not ready to happen so quickly. Basically, just be patient with situations that are going on in your life at this time. The Knight of Swords is very headstrong and can often cause issues by trying to be too forceful. So just be wary of that. And I feel like this is coming up because we are heading into the Mercury Retrograde. So this is sort of that misuse of the air element, right? In that sense. Now, with that said, the positive energies of the Knight of Swords is very much suits the Page of Coins here. It's a very practical energy, very creative at maneuvering through situations in life. So it's also about figuring things out, figuring out a path forward. So be patient, right? Don't rush things. Be strategic and plan things out. And I was saying at the beginning, I was feeling like the Cancer moon is giving an energy to put our foot down with situations. So if there is something like that that happens at this time for you, where you do have to confront a situation or a person or something like that, the Knight of Swords brings powerful energy to that too. It is a sort of a warrior energy, a knight, and thinking strategically with the way that we approach things, tactically, right? Yeah, I'm getting a message that there is a sense of a much needed change is coming into manifestation at this time. Something that may feel a little bit long overdue. There's a sense that there's this change that needed to happen and you've sort of just been waiting for it to happen or just had this sort of stagnant energy. This feels like there's this much needed change coming in at this time. So things are shifting for the better for a lot of you. And remember with this Page of Coins, it's like A lot of it has to do with you and your action. So it could be some sort of internal shift is happening right now that prepares you to take action and to bring the changes that you need, that you've been waiting for. And again, with the Ace of Chalices, it's like divinely blessed, basically. So there's also the aspect of divine timing. It's like this change is coming about through a natural process and through the divine timing. Like, this is now the time that you've been waiting for. So take action now. Okay, with that said, we're going to go ahead and pull a runic oracle card. And I'm going to align myself with the Aesir, the Vanir, the Norns, and all you spirits of the Norse path. Communicate to me the truth so that I may be guided for the highest good of all. Thank you, and so be it done. Please give us your divine guidance for this dark moon and Mercury Retrograde. Is there anything else that we need to know, do, or be aware of at this time? For our highest good, greatest success and joy. Please give us your divine guidance now. Thank you, and so be it done. Okay, so the card that we got is Nathes. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I believe this is the rune of need, if I'm not mistaken. But I will be looking at the book. I was right. Not me slowly starting to memorize the runes. Thank Goddess. I really need to get these memorized for you guys. This rune is one of the second 8. The second 8 is ruled by an element rather than a deity. These runes are more abstract in guidance, reflecting chaos, obstacles, needs and desires, time and destiny. This 8 serves as a reminder of the shadow aspect we must concern ourselves with to gain valuable introspection, which makes sense for, the dark moon and for Mercury retrograde. All living species have a need from basic primary up to excessive luxury. It can be assumed that due to the harsh environmental conditions, the lack of basic supplies prompted the Norsemen to overcome obstacles and seek what they needed elsewhere. This card represents need through hunger, but not in the literal sense. The young man is in a need of sustenance, physical, emotional, and spiritual. The flame in the image is barely kept lit, but the desire to keep it burning is there and requires both human and divine intervention for the benefit of one or all. That's really interesting because that kind of parallels what I was saying with the tarot. We're on this process of manifesting something. We're starting this new manifestation path, and the divine is also helping with this energy. So that's very interesting how that connects. The key words for this card are need in all forms, desire, motivation, intention, foresight, delays, and endurance. So again, I'm feeling reminded of what I was saying, where this feels like a much needed change. That was another thing that I was getting this morning. The gods and the spiritual realm, the cosmos, whatever you want to call it, gives us what we need. Not necessarily always what we want, but it gives us what we need. And that is sort of the driving force and connection with the divine, oftentimes. It's the energy of giving us what we need, giving us that sustenance in whatever form. So I feel like there's also a message here of remembering to be thankful and to have gratitude. Again, with the Knight of Swords sort of coming in, there's a bit of a reminder of not being impatient with things, remembering that there's divine timing of things, all of that. Sort of an energy of remaining humbled, right? The gods, the cosmos, whatever you call the divine, it gives us what we need when we need it. And we need to remember that. So this card is also highlighting desire, motivation, and intention. So I feel like that's once again highlighting with the Page of Coins, where I was talking about this inner shift for this much needed change, this inner shift that's preparing us to take action. And as we shift internally to make ourselves ready for that change, and then we begin to take action, that's when things fall into place. That's when the divine sends in this Ace of Chalices to help us with our work. You know, in the Greek philosophy and mythology, they say that need compels the gods to action. So in order to get your manifestations to work, in order to, you know, get your magic to work, there has to be a real need for it. And going beyond that, you have to take action based on that need. You have to take action based on that desire and that intention. Because if you're taking action, it must be something that you really need done or that you really need to manifest. So with that energy, that's when the divine comes in and helps you with that process. That's when the universe aligns to help you with that process that you're already undertaking because you need to get it done. You see what I'm saying? So that's sort of the base underlying energy with all of this. And then again, one of the keywords is foresight. So that's also, again, reminding me of the Knight of Swords. I was talking about the positive aspects of the Knight of Swords is about strategy and planning. So there's a sense of needing some foresight with the actions that you're taking, making a plan, how you're going to approach it, what exactly you're going to do, all of that. So just as a final message with this need energy, I'm really getting a message of something that I've talked about before. A lot of times you'll see in different stories and media and things like that, the character of a witch. There'll come a point where the witch becomes determined for whatever reason. They finally reach a point of becoming determined to accomplish something, to get something done. And that's when everything shifts, right? That's when everything shifts and they become unstoppable. They won't let anything stop them. You'll see this in many different stories and many different medias when it comes to a character of a witch. And this is true to life. When you reach that point, that shifting energy within yourself, where you become determined, truly determined to accomplish something, for whatever end, for whatever reason, that is when your magic kicks into full gear and nothing is going to stop you from that point on. And once again, at that point, when you start to take determined action, nothing is more powerful than the determined witch. I say this all the time because you've shifted into that energy of need. There's something that you need to get done and you're determined to get it done. And you're taking the actions to do so. And that's when the divine cosmic energy blesses you and aligns with you. It's a shift that happens. I don't really know how else to describe it. That's sort of why I use the sort of metaphor of that, you know, the determined witch trope. Once the witch becomes determined, there's no stopping them. So many of us will be reaching that point. Dark moon at this Lammas Sabbat and this Mercury Retrograde here heading towards the dark half of the year. But with that said, that's going to be all for this reading. I hope that you all have a lovely dark moon and Sabbat, and I hope that you all become very determined witches. If you would like to get in touch with me for a private reading or spell work services, you can contact me through the methods down below in the description box. If you would like to join my Patreon and have access to all of my magical knowledge that I don't share publicly on YouTube, all of my more advanced magics, the link for that is down below in the description box as well. I would like to thank all of my current Patreons and group members. Don't forget to leave me a like and a comment if this reading helped you, and I will see you all in the next videos. As always, until next time, Hail Hecate, hail to the witches, and blessed be.